California State University's recently announced revisions to its general education pattern that changes the naming conventions of GE requirements and removed some GE units, all in a response to a recently passed California law. Hi Broncos, this is Scotty Ninh with the Polypost, and with the recent GE policy changes, it could seem like quite a bit to take in, especially to continuing students. So, to break it down, the naming conventions of GE requirements will be changed to more similarly resemble that of community colleges. So, to showcase the upcoming GE pattern, I'm going to give you a bit of an infographic here because it's quite a bit to take in, so make sure you screenshot it for future reference. But all this was done in response to a California law that was passed in hopes of streamlining the GE system to transfer students and, to a lesser extent, incoming freshmen. Additionally, the changes will have GE areas D3 and E cut along with their credits, and in total, the number of required GE credits will be reduced from 48 down to 43. According to the CPP General Education Coordinator, DeRosa, this change in particular was made to give students more flexibility to explore their course options both in and out of their majors, as the previous system may have forcibly narrowed down their choices to specific GE courses. While this can benefit students, some impacted departments have given the decision an extensive amount of backlash, as the pull requirements can make students less obligated to enroll in certain courses.
And I think that the GE part, while that new GE pattern is more at the chancellor's level because the Board of Trustees implemented it for all students, that was their decision to do that. It just shows as you move up the hierarchy here from the president's level, who made the decision about our branding efforts and that cost, to going beyond that at the chancellor's level, there is just a focus that if we sort of, streamline the system and put a new coat of paint on the used car instead of changing the oil, that it'll run and sell. But, we need to make sure that we're focusing during these times on maintaining things like general education, but also making sure that as budgets ebb and flow, we are spending it on academic affairs and making sure colleges are still funded well, especially when there's clearly money in the system.
This will impact departments in two ways. First being that if departments have less enrollments in their GE courses, which can be a considerable amount, there will be less funding for said departments. Second would be how departments may miss out on attracting undeclared students or those thinking about switching their major.
How much funding you get to offer classes depends on full-time equivalent students. Full-time equivalent students mean if you were taking just one 3-unit class, if there were 5 of you, you'd be one full-time equivalent student. So how many full-time equivalent students that you bring in depends on your funding you get to offer more classes above your tenure track budget, what we call lecture faculty, and offer more classes. So it can be kind of a spiral. If you don't have enough to FTS, then you get less money, and then you can offer fewer classes, and etc., and it can be really problematic.
On top of this, some professors of impacted departments have argued that the way students benefit from cutting GE requirements is only surface level and has more harmful long-term side effects.
But in terms of somebody who wants a GE program that's going to provide a coherent experience that offers the students the opportunity to study things they might not otherwise be exposed to, gain some skills that help, I think, define what a university-educated person should be able to do, and prepare them for things. You can take courses. The courses that are scheduled in most majors are things that are built up looking backward. The skills you learn in general education give you the ability to deal with things that we can't predict in the future. And so it's a bit of a shame that part of the reform ended up contracting the GE program even further.
These cuts and changes to GE requirements have actually been happening pretty consistently throughout the past few years, according to professors of impacted departments. The cuts to GE areas typically came as a response to other changes. For example, it was previously as a result of a unit cap that was made. With all these concerns for how GE changes can impact some departments, DeRosa has actually encouraged faculty to give as much feedback as they can to the academic senate, mentioning that their voice matters a lot at this very moment. And for students that may be concerned with their department, it is also encouraged to reach out to your faculty to help push their feedback into the Academic Senate. But be quick, as the second Academic Senate reading will be on November 6th. That's it from me, Broncos. Let us know what you think of the GE pattern changes down in the comments, as these changes seem to have generated many mixed reactions and confusion for some. But this has been Scotty and Ninh from the Poly Post. Thanks for watching.